The Voice Chameleon, lending a voice to those whom demand to be heard.
D back with another Tuesday tip here on March 12th, 2019. Look at the hair, isn't it beautiful? This is bedhead, which sometimes actually isn't as bad as my headphone hair gets, but even the beard's looking a little off. So pardon my appearance. This is why I'm usually behind a mic and not in front of a camera. It's a little after 8. I just had my coffee and I was just thinking about something that happened to me last week and I wasn't sure if I wanted to share it with you or not. And I said, you know what? F it, let's be real. I got fired last week. Fired! Yeah. So here's the situation. Client hit me up about a job. We want to use you. Your stuff sounds great, specifically at 17 seconds to 23 seconds, that particular clip in my demo. And I said, okay, great. So went over some more details. And I said, so you want me to basically mimic the same style for your video sales letter? That's what the project was, a VSL. And I said, yep, just get that and try to keep it around 2 minutes. I said, okay, I looked over the script, timed it out, because I like to read aloud with the stopwatch to make sure the pacing and everything. Because oftentimes clients will send you something saying, yeah, this is going to be a 2-minute video, and they have 3-4 minutes to copy, and you're like, I'm not going to talk like an auctioneer because you're going to hate that. So anyway, everything looked good. So I told them, all right, I will get this done. Be back to you sometime in the next hour. So send it over. A few hours later, I get a message back like, hey, got it, thank you, and I'll be passing it on to the team for review, and I'll get back to you. I said, great, I'll be here if you need anything revised or you want a section, sped up, whatever it is. I usually have a few different spiels I send to clients to make sure, they understand that if they're not 100% satisfied, I'm doing whatever I can to remedy that within reason. Next day, I just get a message, very frank. We reviewed it as a team and we decided we didn't like it, so we're going to terminate the contract and hire somebody else. So, caught me off guard. It's never happened to me before. Like I said, I get, there's rejection, there's, being turned down, there's being passed up, there's being completely ignored by clients, but I've never had a client that I was hired by for a specific job just tell me basically to F off. And the way he worded things was very standoffish, so I had to respond because I gotta make this right, And then he said, well, no, this is just how we do it. It's how we operate. If we don't like what the talent does, we find somebody else to do it. And in my head, I was like, that seems really inefficient, because to me, it was a lack of communication. That's 90% of the problem in all business, is when there's disagreement, when there's something screwed up. It's a lack of proper communication. That's something I stress all the time in business, is just be clear about what you want and then things will get done right. I messaged him and I said, can you at least tell me what it was that was unsatisfactory about my performance so that I may learn from this and apply it to future experiences? And he said, it just wasn't what we were looking for. And I said, well, I'm not sure what you were looking for then, because I went by the exact specs and I went by the sample from my own work that you chose as your template for this VSL. And I said, well, just tell me what you want me to do to make it right, and I'll make it right. And he said, I don't want to waste your time or mine any further. So I said, that's fair. But I would love to make it up to you. I said, I'm not going to charge you anything further. Just tell me exactly what you want, and I will do it. So we talked a little further, cooled the situation down, because I asked him, I said, can you send me like a specific example of something online or whatever, a YouTube video that has exactly what you're looking for? So he sends me a YouTube clip of an actual trailer, like a movie trailer. And I said, okay, had I known this ahead of time, I would approach the project completely different. As a matter of fact, the voice on that trailer is so deep that I said, that's something I can't do. So I said, look, I just wish we had that example to begin with. Because had we had that example to begin with, I would have never accepted the job. I would have told you about a couple other guys that could totally nail it for you, because I like to recommend other artists. There are some artists out there who are capable of doing just about every style of VO. I am not one of them. Perhaps one day I will be, but for now I am not. I am very aware of my limitations and I'm very aware of my strengths. So Had I known this was a straight trailer job, I would have just said, thanks for the opportunity, but this is not what I do. Here's a list of talented artists who may be able to fulfill this for you. But at the end of the whole thing, because I did recommend somebody for him, at the end of the whole thing, we parted as friends. He even said, never thought about just getting it done that way. That would save more time. I said, yeah, if you just send a exact example of what you're looking for, or even something just very close in the ballpark, because I said, based on what you told me initially compared to what you really wanted, those were two completely different things. Sometimes clients don't understand this, and they're not being difficult, they're not being mean, they just don't understand, and there's that lack of communication between the parties. So we parted as friends. They said, love the way you think, love the way you operate, we really like your voice, it just wasn't right for this, and thank you for helping us understand a few things a little more clearly about how voice actors work. I said I was fired, but I don't consider that to be an L. I think in the long run, I still made the client happy. I didn't get the cash, but I made the client happy. And who knows? They may contact me for future work, they may not. But either way, I disarmed what was a hostile situation, and what could have been an ugly situation ended up very peaceful and very positive, actually. So that is my spiel for this week. I'm going to go probably do something about this hair, like maybe cut it. And no, seriously though, I'm going to go take the dogs out and get into the studio and get cracking on some other work. So, thanks for checking this out once again, and I hope the rest of your week is fantastic. D out!
Thanks for checking out another video from The Voice Chameleon. I'm D. Alvis, and if you'd like to learn more about how I can help you, head on over to thevoicechameleon.com.